Welcome back. Ink on paper. That's what we're covering this week. And I've got this, me and my vintage collections. I've got these ink pens from the past, and this here is like an ink well. Can you see that? I know they do this on YouTube. Yeah, so that's where they put the ink, and you dip it in there and you write. You write. We are going to be talking about ink on paper, but not that old ink. This new ink, but this is from our book, chapter 4. And you know what it says? It says printed media have helped move democracy and culture ahead, which poses doubts about a post-print future. Are we going to have newspapers and magazines and books in the future? Will it all be electronic? Well, let me just tell you this. I have been writing for 25 years for newspapers and magazines. It's called a freelance writer. And I've been doing that. I still do it today. I have to work on an article for next week to turn into my editor. Yeah, and what's crazy is that one of my articles that I wrote for the Diablo magazine years ago, I think it was year 2000, somewhere around there, so like 20 years ago, and they paid me, I think it was about $1,500 for that article. Yeah, boom! I ended up buying a couch and matching love seat with that $1,500. So when people came over and we were sitting on the couch, I told them that I was sitting on my words, on the couch. Not this couch, a different one. My cats mutilated it 20 years ago. Okay, so I actually, I don't know how long. I'm going like this because I think I got lipstick on my teeth. Anyway, yeah, so I was sitting on my words, but yeah, and I wrote for Latina magazine. My grandmother actually introduced me to that magazine because it has articles in English and the same article in Spanish. So if you want to learn Spanish, there you go. And so I did write an article for them for that one. I was actually an undercover worker at a tortilla factory in Hayward. I worked there for 3 days. Actually, it was 3 nights through the night. I got the job as a reporter. And I spoke Spanish mostly. I tried not to speak any English at all. I was posing as a immigrant. And so I ended up writing this article. The third day that I was working there through the night, it was the night shifts, I almost threw up, and only because my body was not used to working through the night. And but clean conditions, they were treating the workers wonderful. And so I wrote up the article, sent it to my editor at Latina magazine, and they had other reporters, one in Texas and one in San Francisco, covering other areas. They wanted to really find out how they were treating their undocumented immigrants. And I actually wrote a really good article because they treated me wonderful and really well. And so they ended up not running my article, and they did not run it, but there was a kill fee. A kill fee is when they promise that you have a contract to do an article for a newspaper publication, and they don't run it. And if they don't run it, there's a 20% kill fee, which means they pay you 20% of what they were going to originally pay you for the whole contract. I think my contract was for $1,400. They didn't run the article because it wasn't, a bad article about treating immigrants poorly. It was quite the opposite. Anyway, I ended up getting paid the full amount. They paid me the full amount, not a 20%, the 100%, which was way cool of Latina magazine. Anyway, let's see what else. So ink on paper, newspapers, books, what is that? Magazines, pamphlets, newsletters, all of that is ink on paper. And we're going to explore that this chapter. And, personally myself, I love books. I love to read. I wish I had more time to read. I don't. I got so many. I probably have about maybe 300 plus books. This one was an amazing book before the internet. Now we just Google Dr. MD or something MD. My mom bought me this book, and it has every symptom in here. And I would just look up my symptoms, and it'll tell you if you need to go to the doctors, what type of medication, what to do. This was my medical Bible, and I still actually use this today, even though we have the internet. I still use this one. This one I bought called the Birth Order Book. I am a middle child, and so I wanted to know what's the birth order about. Like, why do I do the things that I do? And this is a really cool book. I like that one. Ooh, this one I just bought because I love the title. Friend Request. It's just really cool. I haven't even read it yet, but this one here is Every Writer's Bible. So pro tip, this is called an AP style book. They used to do one every year. Now it's electronic. So I think 2019 or 2020 was the last print edition. And I used to get the spiral bound, almost like a recipe book that lays flat. But this is for every writer. If you want to be a writer, you need this book. Now they do them digitally, and they change them every year because there's new information every year, just like a dictionary. And it helps you to find out, do I hyphenate that word? Is that word capitalized? Why is it capitalized? So this is your go-to book, and I use this all the time, even today. And I love, my decorating. I love mid-century modern, so anything mid-century modern I am so into. MCM and 1950s, 60s, even the 40s. But it's really cool because I love decorating, and it's just got all these really great decorating ideas. And I love this book. I have a lot. These are like coffee table books, but they're also great reading books as well. Julia Morgan and the Hearst Castle. And I've been to the Hearst Castle about 7 times now. I'm obsessed. I love the Hearst Castle. It has everything to do with newspapers and media. So if you ever get a chance to go to San Simeon, it's about 3 hours down the coast, go. And Julia Morgan was the gal who helped build and design and architect the castle with William Randolph Hearst. Okay, so that's it on books. AP style. Pro tip. Writers, books, if you ever want to be a book author, you want to write a book, or you want to write for newspapers and magazines. How do I become a better writer? Guess what? Read. The more you read, the better you will become a writer. Because there's this thing called osmosis where you just absorb and you're just visually seeing these words, and you're seeing how they're used in a sentence, and you're seeing the punctuation, and you're seeing the grammar. You just kind of absorb that while you read. The more you read, the better writer you will become. Okay, that's just a little pro tip on the side there. Writing for newspapers, I wrote for the Stockton Record for, over 10 years. But for 3 of those years, I covered the celebrity beat, which was really cool because I got to interview celebrities, comedians, actors, singers, performers. I interviewed Art Garfunkel. He was a singer. He still is. The late David Cassidy. He was in the Partridge Family. He passed away. I interviewed Tracy Morgan, the comedian, and I interviewed Chris Titus, the comedian, Vicki Lawrence, the comedian. A lot of comedians. Vicki Lawrence. A lot of great people that I interviewed, and they're all recorded on tape. Another pro tip: you cannot record anybody without their permission. It's illegal otherwise. Anyway, so I have all of their tapes, me interviewing them, which was so cool. And that was fun covering the celebrities. Okay, enough about me and all this. Now it's your turn. Tell me, what book inspired you? Why did it inspire you? I want to know. We all want to know because we're all nosy. I know I'm nosy. So I want to know what book, and if you haven't read a book, what article that you read that you love and it moved you, it changed you, it inspired you, it motivated you, something. Tell me about that book, or tell me about that article that you read. Not a movie. Those are, no, book. And that's it right now for Ink on Paper. You've got a chapter to read. You've got some assignments and a discussion board and all that good stuff. Hope you have a great night, and it's cooler weather. Oh my God, I love it. Yay. Okay, I think that's it. So peace out.